Hey, in this lesson, we're going to try and figure out how you can find the points if you're given the midpoint. It's the kind of question you sometimes get when you're doing these midpoint kind of questions. So let's have a look at an example. What are the values of A and B if the midpoint of these two coordinates, A -1 and 2B, is this? So we're given the midpoint. Okay, we're told that the midpoint in this case is -1, 2. We've got the 2 points, but we've got some missing numbers, so they're replaced with letters or pronumerals, A and B. So how can we go about figuring out what those numbers are? Well, I'm just going to label them, because remember, I take my points and I call one of them x1, y1, and the other one x2, y2. So I can see that x1 is A, and in this case, the y2 is B. They're the missing ones that we've got to find. Now remember, our little format for finding the midpoint of 2 points is simply x1 plus x2 over 2. And for the y value, it's y1 plus y2 over 2. So if I take that now and sort of fill those in, putting in the things I know and seeing what's left. So x1, remember, was A. So x1 plus x2, because here's my x2, over 2. My y coordinate is going to be y1, right, which is -1, plus b, because over here my y2 is the b, over 2. Okay, so I filled in the things I know, and the ones I didn't know I've just replaced with the letters. My x1 is A, and my y2 was B. Now, I can have a look at this, and I've got to get these to come to these numbers, okay, because we're told here, looking at the midpoint, it's -1, 2. So this bit needs to come to -1. This y value needs to come to 2. So I'm going to have a look at this, and I'm just going to use a bit of trial and error and say, all right, well, listen, this bit on the top is going to have to equal -2 for the whole fraction to come to -1, because -2 over 2 equals -1. What value of A makes this top piece equal to -2? Well, I can see by a bit of trial and error that if my A was -4, that would be correct. So -4 plus 2 would give me -2, which when I divide by 2 gives me -1. So my A value is going to be -4. Let's do the same thing now, but this time for the Y values. This bit on the top, for the whole piece of this whole fraction to equal 2, this bit on the top is going to have to equal 4, okay, because 4 divided by 2 will give me 2. What value can I replace the B with to get me a value of 4? Well, -1, I'm going to have to add 5 to that. So -1 plus 5 gives me 4. 4 over 2 gives me my 2. Now, so it was a bit of trial and error, but hopefully you understood those steps. Replace the things that we do know and try and figure out what numbers will make our coordinates work.